Hey, what's up, guys? We are here to talk about the month of October. It is going to be one hell of a ride. I've been meditating on this energy for this month, and it is akin to the crowning process of the crowning aspect, if you will, of the birthing process. Collectively, we are going through this awakening, and this whole year has basically been like, a birthing process, right? And September, we start going into labor. October, we are crowning. November, we're popping out. December, cleaning everything up and going into the next, and we're going into this new life. And, everybody can feel it, whether they're aware of it or not on some level. And this is big, guys. October, this is going to be a defining month. Okay. Like, it's going to build upon what happened during September. Now we have a lot of these energies intermingling and coming to an apex, multiple energies coming to an apex. Okay. So I'm going to bring you the charts right here, and we're going to take a look. All right. So first off, here's October 1st. We come in with a bang with a full moon at 9 degrees of Aries. If I can, let's see, shift this a little bit. 9 degrees. It's not the exact minute, but that's okay. All right, so 9-degree Aries full moon. As you can see, that is conjunct Chiron. And Mars retrograde is conjunct Black Moon Lilith. And there's a grand trine there. Not to mention that Eris, okay, the fixed star Eris is sitting at 23 degrees of Aries as well. So with Black Moon Lilith, Mars, and Eris all sitting at 23 degrees of Aries, hallelujah, there's a grand trine there. But this energy is just rebellion, screaming, like, give me freedom or give me death. Like, get me the fuck out of here. I want to do what I want to do. And that's the kind of energy that is starting to scream in the collective unconscious right now. Nobody wants to sit down and just like deal with it or take it anymore. Okay. This is where we are going to start seeing like people start to go batshit fucking crazy. All right. But when this snap crackle popping going on, this is where the real juicy awakenings happen. It's gonna get thick, guys. It's gonna get very juicy here. Now, on the 29th, just a few days prior, the 29th of September, we had Saturn go direct, right? So Saturn was basically still sitting station. It just switched directions, if you will. So when I say directions, when retrograde to direct, really the energy is just shifting from being internal to external. And of course, Saturn is the lord of karma. So this is where karma is going to start to play a major role. If you've been doing the work, if you've been doing good things. Now, let's be clear, all right? Because isn't it interesting how some people that do a lot of really bad shit, they don't get any karma. It seems like they always get away with stuff, right? Why is that? It's because it is not based on an ethical or moral standard like we may feel or we may believe, like somebody did us wrong. It's based on the universal of, good or bad, right? Like, so if you did something bad, but you don't feel like it was bad, then that is not going to be bad karma for you, right? But if you do something and you feel guilty or ashamed or bad for it, then that is what's going to bring you karma. It's going to bring you more guilt, more shame. Okay, so it's very, very important to be aware of how you're feeling, because if you're doing anything that you feel ashamed of, that you feel guilty of, that you feel like, this ain't right, I'm going to hurt somebody, I'm going to do this, some of that, it's those vibrations that are going to be reciprocated back to you. That's why some people can do some really bad shit, but if they don't feel it, they're not going to be reciprocated with it, because you know what? They're not in that vibration. It's all about vibration, okay? That's why, like, sometimes some people the stuff doesn't make any sense. But it's not up to your, emotional cue. You have to look at these things from a place of neutrality, okay? And of course, we have Mercury in Scorpio, which is, coming into this month in shadow, because Mercury will be going retrograde here on the 14th. and it's going to be opposing to Uranus. So that's going to be weird. That's going to be like all kinds of, you know, like unexpected, weird communications coming in, things that don't make any sense. And, you know, we also have Pluto going to be going direct on October 4th. But we're coming in with this grand fire trine here between, you know, Mars, Venus in the South Node, which is excellent because this is allowing us to take all this pent up energy that is frustrated, that's pissed off, that is, I ain't taking this shit anymore, right? And it's allowing us to just release it, to process it, to let it go. Now, hopefully we'll be doing this in productive ways. Of course, I'm sure we're going to see somewhere in the world where it's not productive, but it's important to remember to really take this energy and put it into something, you know, as deliberate and creative as possible, right? Take that Kundalini energy and let it flow in a healthy way, the best that you can. So, and of course we have the nodes at 22 degrees here. It's getting closer and closer to that Neptune, to being exactly square to Neptune. So as it keeps getting closer and closer to that square, man, that's going to keep making, it's going to make life feel like a daze, like things just aren't making sense, almost like life isn't real. It's a very cloudy, fluffy, or delusional, you know, what the fuck is going on in the world kind of energy. And with the Mercury retrograde going into effect as well, and with all this karma coming back, it almost might feel like you're being like a puppet on a string, just being pulled along and not really knowing what the hell is going on. But this is where being connected to your heart center is so important. And of course, on the October 2nd, we have Venus moving into 0 degrees of Virgo. And it's really nice that it is trining over here to Mars, because that's the divine feminine and divine masculine getting along, you know, connecting. So this is us really seeing where we gotta, you know, correct the things that we may have not been being so honest with ourselves about regarding our divine feminine and our divine masculine, especially if you're in relationships. And of course, especially with the sun being in Libra right now. The sun being in Libra is all about relationships. We're like balancing the scales, right? Finding that temperance, finding the way to find that special like place, that sweet spot in life, so that we're not getting thrown around by the tides. We're actually in the center of the storm, and you know, we're not being blown all over the place here. So on October 4th, we have Pluto now at 22 degrees, 29 minutes, going direct. And it's, of course, 3 degrees away from Saturn. And Jupiter is 4 degrees away, but going to be speeding up quickly to Pluto. It's not going to conjunct until the early middle part of November, but you can bet that Jupiter-Pluto energy together is going to get stronger and stronger again as we come to the third and final conjunction. So here, of course, we see Black Moon Lilith now traveling more towards Uranus, and you know, the moon is traveling over here too. So when, you know, the first 4 or 5 days, the first week of October is going to be fucking intense, because, you know, all this energy is just slow and it's deep, and it's speaking so loudly and intensely and clearing so much karmic fucking baggage. You know, of course, Saturn is a planet of karma. Pluto is a planet of death and rebirth. It's a planet of uprooting secrets and shit that you don't want anybody to know. So whatever kind of stuff that, you know, you may have been trying to hide from the world, you better be ready for that stuff to kind of come out. You know what I'm saying? So we have this yod here as well between White Moon Selena and, let's see, Pluto. Well, Jupiter and Pluto, okay? Quincunx the North Node, and the North Node is Quincunx and White Moon Selena. I like putting White Moon Selena in here because, you know, this is our glimpse of hope. This is our glimpse of what good is coming out of all this. And with White Moon Selena being part of a yod, and along with the North Node, while all this other crazy shit's going on, this is sort of saying that, like, look, the light has our back. The light, we're being infused with this knowing, this belief that something better, something good, something great is coming into our lives if we just have trust and faith and open our hearts to step forward into the future that we know deep down that we are meant to live. We may never have seen it, but we know it's there. We have to have strong faith in these times, because that is where all the answers are right now. All right. So on the 7th, we have a very even more powerful yod coming into play now that the moon is conjunct the north node. And, this yod is going to be sitting around for most of the month. Actually, it's going to be getting really, really, really strong. And let's see here. We have Mars also on the 7th. Actually, let's see, on the 8th. There we go. On October 8th, with that yod, in addition, we have now Mars at 22 degrees, squaring over to Pluto exactly at 22 degrees. All right. So if that wasn't enough, we're going to add to the mix some squares. All right. Now, Mars square Pluto, and from my experience, in my opinion, is, Mars square Saturn is one of the toughest. Mars square Pluto is the most difficult, or definitely one of the most difficult. This just because it's so intense, guys. It's so deep. So this is where, like, that birthing process, like I was talking about, is really, really kicking in. This is bringing up some shit, stuff that maybe you didn't want to look at. Okay, stuff that you didn't want to see, stuff that you didn't want to be, acknowledged within yourself. Pluto is like, too bad, you got to look at it to grow. But now look, this is a growing process. Okay, so we have to take a look at this, and we have 2 yods here actually. On the 8th, we have Mars retrograde sextile the north node, and quincunx to the midheaven. The midheaven and white moon Selena are conjunct. Okay, so with white moon Selena being conjunct the midheaven, and this is the collective midheaven, all right? This is where all of humanity is going. This is like the learning lesson is going into our spirituality. We're kind of having to be, we're having to rely on a deeper purpose, on a deeper understanding of our trust and faith in the universe, because there's really nothing, like, in times like this, it's like you have no choice. You have to give it over. You have to. This is almost like the universe is forcing us to surrender, which sometimes is necessary. But collectively, that can look kind of ugly on the outside. But on the inside, it is very cathartic. It's very purifying. On this day, we also have Venus, which is in detriment in Virgo, okay? Because Virgo likes to be all nice and structured, nice and, making things happen. And Venus likes to be fluid. It likes to have fun. It likes to be sexy and beautiful. And Virgo's like, nope, we need to stick to a plan. And Venus is like, well, no, I want to just go have fun. And it's quincunxy over to Chiron. All right. So this is where our divine feminine might be incredibly vulnerable. All right. And this is going to last for, a good week or so. So, guys, like, a lot of these energies, there's a lot of vulnerability. There's a lot of maybe, heartache, pain, like disorientation that's coming around, that is teaching us how to grow. It's collectively, each and every one of us. Key is that you have to trust. You have to keep your faith. You have to stay strong. And this is what's making us strong. All right. This is and in the bigger picture, in the long run, it's going to make us feel alive inside. All right. It's going, like, after, whenever you go, if you've ever been through a difficult situation in your life, right? When you're going through it, you feel like, rock bottom. You feel like you can't go any further. You feel like complete shit. You feel terrible, blah, blah, blah. Okay. But, eventually it ends. So everything is temporary. So this is the feeling that you sort of have to surrender to in order to be able to grow through it. And when you come out, you're like, wow, I'm still here. Okay, I got all my body parts. I'm still doing good. All right. It's all this unexpressed or repressed or suppressed energy that is sitting in our body that needs to go. It just needs to go. And, you're watching this, you're doing the work. So that you're going to be okay. You just you know, let yourself cry if you gotta cry. Let yourself rest if you need to rest. Let yourself do whatever you gotta do, because this is the hardest part. This is the most intense part of what's going on for us to birth this new energy and this new process in this new world that we are creating. Okay, this destiny, fate, these words are going to be play very prominently here in this energy. All right, and you know, I would say almost there's almost a third yod going on here too. No, I'm not going to count that one. Okay, so as we move forward, so we started with the full moon in Aries on the 1st, and then on the 16th we have a new moon at 23 degrees of Libra. Now 23 is 5 in numerology, so 5 means change, right? And of course, with this new moon we have a yod, this white moon Selena sextile over to now more Pluto. White moon Selena is at 21 degrees. Pluto's at 22 degrees, so it's right in between Jupiter and Pluto. Jupiter's now at 19 degrees, so it's just 3 degrees away. Moving in for the kill. All right, we have you know, I mean, this is massive, guys. This is so big. And yes, I did not forget to mention that on the 14th, Mercury will be going retrograde at 11 degrees of Scorpio. How exciting. So Scorpio rules the 8th house. So the 8th house rules sex, death, money, pretty much all the really, really important stuff, right? So yeah, we can add that to the list of stuff going on. So and this is happening right before a new moon in Libra of relationships and balance. And so that's going to start to throw in a little bit of, you know, murkiness and confusion when it comes to communication, mostly communication with the self. All right. This is us questioning everything. All right. This month, we are going to be questioning everything. The nodes are now at 21 degrees, which with Neptune at 18 degrees retrograde, getting even closer. So there's a lot of confusing energy. There's a lot of like, what the fuck is going on? Don't try to figure it out, because you're only going to get more confused. All right. And of course, here we have also a mutable cross with Venus square over to the south node, the south node square over to Neptune, Neptune square to the north node square to Venus. So with Venus opposed Neptune, and you know, and squaring the nodes, this is relationships right around this time. It can definitely break or fail. If it is not meant to be, it will collapse. But good for you. That's going to be good for you if it needs to happen, because I'll tell you what, like, you know, dysfunctional, toxic relationships will not last through this month. I guarantee you. Okay, with the new moon in Libra, this is saying, nope, it's time to start fresh. It's time to create these new relationships. You cannot stay in this toxicity anymore. It'll be too painful. It'll be too much. It's not going to happen. The universe saying, not on my watch. And with this yod at the same time as this new moon, okay, this is saying, look, go towards, like, you know, North Node in Gemini, friends, community, your, you know, like your neighborhood, like, you know, connecting with people around you that you really resonate with, that this is a very deep soul family connection energy. All right. We have to go towards the North Node, and it's going to make you uncomfortable because things are changing that you don't want to change. But as it's like this tension is pressurizing you in these places that your comfort did not want you to go, and you're going to have to do it because it's not going to happen any other way. Okay. Now, good news is that pretty soon, just after that new moon, we're going to be having Venus coming into a trine with Jupiter, and then it's going to trine over to Pluto, excuse me, and then it's going to trine over to Saturn. So that is beautiful. All right. Even though it is still quincunxing a little bit, now it's quincunxing over to Mars. So first it was quincunxing Chiron. Now it's quincunxing to Mars, and then it's going to quincunx over to Black Moon Lilith. So we have a lot of divine feminine stuff going on. At the same time, we have a lot of divine masculine stuff going on. So literally, guys, this is like on every level, we are getting twisted and torn and contorted in ways that we cannot consciously comprehend. The universe is doing work within us at the cellular level, activating our DNA. This is literally transforming us at the deepest of deep levels. So you're not going to be able to understand it. If you try to control this or figure it out, you're going to lose your fucking mind. So don't try to do that. Okay? Just surrender. The key to making it through this month is surrender, 100%. All right. On the 21st, we're going to have the Venus exactly trine to Pluto, and on the 23rd, 24th, Venus is going to exactly trine Saturn. So this is where, you know, some really good things could come in, provided that we've been listening to our heart, and provided that we've been going towards the north node of our destiny, of connecting, of community, of speaking our mind, of letting our beliefs be known, of surrendering, of allowing this stuff to purge and cathartically fall away. We cannot carry this stuff anymore. And now we have Jupiter back to 20 degrees, third decan. Now all Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn are all in the third decan, moving forward in its last rush through the end of Capricorn. Hallelujah. Let's go. Let's get it done, right? And let's see. On the 25th, we are going to have the Sun conjunct Mercury retrograde. So, you know, whenever there's, you know, a retrograde like this, and there's an aspect, it's going to do 3 times. So there's something here regarding communication to ourselves that it's going to take 3 passes for us to fully get the lesson. All right. With this being in Scorpio, this is going to be something about our boundaries for sure, about our relationship to our, you know, to our sexuality, our relationship to how we work with relationships, like our intimacy in relationships. Now, intimacy is not sex. Intimacy is allowing yourself to be vulnerable. So again, there's another layer of this deep vulnerability going on in regards to our relationships with ourselves, being intimate with yourself, right? Being honest with yourself, allowing yourself to feel what you need to feel in order to grow, right? It's all very, very, very important to allow these things to teach us. Okay, so this is definitely a very powerful month of Earth School here for sure. All right, now let's see. We have on the 28th, we have Venus going into Libra. Yay, where it rules. Okay, which is beautiful. And oh crap, I missed on the 23rd. We had the Sun entering Scorpio as well. So, you know, and of course that is where the Sun is going to conjunct Mercury. So the Scorpio energy that's coming in, you know, it's a lot. It's very secretive. It's very mysterious. It's very mischievous, but it's also very fixed. Okay, so we're going from the first 3 weeks of this month. You know, we're in this cardinal energy where we want to move, we want to make things happen, but the moving is moving through the catharsis, moving into the letting go, moving into understanding how to navigate this new unpredictable kind of energy. All right, and learning, moving into the vulnerability. And, you know, that's not what a lot of people want to hear, but it's a very important part of the growth process. So as we do that, once the Sun comes in to Scorpio, we're going to be feeling a more like, okay, I moved into it. Now I got to master this, right? I got to master my communication. I have to master these boundaries. I have to master these feelings. I have to master my sexuality. I have to, like, I know what I want and I'm not going to settle for less. These are my boundaries. This is how I'm going to go forward. Okay. A lot of new relationships can come into play. A lot of relationships can end. A lot of relationships, you could have a totally new relationship with yourself. All right. This is very relationship heavy, but you have to understand, okay, that this part of the process is necessary to bring in this new earth, this new place, this new life that you have envisioned in your mind for so long is actually coming to fruition. This is what we have all been doing the work for and praying for and meditating for and doing the shadow work for. All right. The work is not done. We are right in the middle of it. However, you're going to find that as you go through this and you accept the vulnerability, you have to accept the vulnerability. can't, I don't want to feel this. This sucks. No, why me? Why me? Why me? No, get the fuck out of here. Okay. We have to embrace this internal victim, this internal saboteur, this internal wounded child. We have to allow this process to purify us, because this is where when we're going to finally have a heart open and emit the vibration we want to bring in the relationship that we want, to bring in the abundance that we want, to bring in all the things that seem to be, you know, just difficult to attain. It's been difficult because we've been making it difficult because we've had these blockages. Basically, the subconscious mind and the conscious mind have been, in many of us, you know, wired incorrectly, especially for empaths, sensitives, healers, light workers, things like that. We, you know, we kind of got the shit end of the stick as far as coming into this world, right? We had to learn everything the hard way. But we're the ones that learn the hard way because we are the ones that are changing and rewiring it to configure it properly. So we had to do this. And when you understand it, when you zoom out and you can look at the whole forest, you know, see the whole scene, and you understand, oh, you're connecting these dots. That's why this happened. Okay, I get it now. I get it now. All right. So step into it. Trust the process. Have faith. Love yourself enough to not allow yourself to be taken advantage of. All right. To be stepped on, to be, you know, shit on, really. All right. Learn to say no. Learn to step up and take what is yours, what belongs to you, what you deserve. All right. A lot of us, you know, have a difficult time, you know, speaking up and asking for what we want. Well, it's time for us to do that. It's time for us to stand in our power. And this month is going to give us the opportunity to face those deep, dark shadow aspects of self to grow through and really create magic. You're creating magic with this new, and it may not look like what you thought it was going to look like. Okay, most times it's not, because the ego projects, it expects. If you have expectations, you are going to be severely disappointed. Do not have expectations. Rather, look deep into your heart and see, like, you know what, this sucks, but I get it. Like, you know, we have to peel ourselves apart from these attachments that are keeping us stuck. We're going to a better place, but right now it ain't going to look that way. This month is going to be a sort of a collective dark night of the soul. A lot of people awakening, very deep, deep spiritual awakening, deep gifts being uprooted and activated in a lot of light workers and a lot of star seeds, and, you know, and a lot of empaths. So stick with it, connect to community, you know, join the opportunity community. I love the community, and we all work together so much, and it's such a beautiful, safe place where we express our vulnerability and allow, you know, ourselves to grow and support each other. Okay. On that note, if you would like a reading from me, please go to spiritualbodybuilder.com. I have a level 1, level 2 astrology course that explains the planets in their energetic archetypes, like personalities, and those are on sale as well. So please check those out. And other than that, I bid you a beautiful month. I hope everything goes well for you, and take it one day at a time. Namaste, guys.